All right, let's talk about something we have all faced. A big event is just around the corner, and you want to feel your absolute best. So in this explainer, we are going to break down a really practical plan, one that's actually designed for a Sri Lankan lifestyle, to get you ready in just 2 weeks. Ready? Okay, let's dive right in.
So, you look at the calendar, and bam, there it is. A wedding, a big party, some huge family function, and it's just 2 weeks away. And of course, you want to look and feel absolutely fantastic. Sound familiar? I bet it does. Well, the good news is it's totally achievable if we're smart about it.
Okay, first things first. We got to set a realistic target, right? So what are we talking about here? Losing somewhere between 2 to 4.5 kilograms, that's about 5 to 10 pounds over 2 weeks? Yeah, that is absolutely possible. Look, this isn't some kind of magic trick. It's all about having a really focused, short-term game plan.
So you might be wondering, what kind of weight are you actually losing? This is super important to get. At the very beginning, a lot of it is just water weight and stored carbs, glycogen. Then you start to actually burn fat. And the whole plan, the entire secret, is built on one simple, totally safe idea: creating a daily calorie deficit of about 500 to 750 calories. That's it. Okay, time to get into the real heart of the plan. Honestly, the most important piece of the puzzle, your diet. For the next 14 days, what you put in your body is going to make the biggest difference. No question about it. And what's really cool is how we can make this work with a local diet. The big secret? Prioritize your protein. We're talking fish, eggs, dal, the stuff that keeps you feeling full. Then you fill up the rest of your plate with veggies packed with fiber. But here's the game changer, the really crucial part: managing those carbs. We're cutting way down on sugar and, listen to this, limiting rice to just half a cup per meal. And this is key: no rice at all after 4 p.m.
So, to make this crystal clear, let's walk through a sample day. This whole day lands somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories. As you can see, it's pretty balanced, right? It uses foods you already know and love, and it'll keep you going without piling on the calories. And pay attention to the dinner. It's light, and there are no heavy carbs.
All right, it's not just what you eat, but when you eat. We're going to use a simple structure called 16-8 intermittent fasting. Basically, all your meals for the day happen inside an 8-hour window, let's say from noon until 8 p.m. That means for the other 16 hours, your body is fasting, and that can really help kick your fat burning into a higher gear. Now, here is a non-negotiable rule. It sounds simple, but it is so important. 4 liters of water every single day. This is absolutely critical for staying hydrated, for keeping hunger pangs at bay, and for getting rid of that puffy, bloated feeling. Trust me, you will feel lighter, and you'll feel it fast. Okay, we've got the diet down. Now for the second pillar of our plan, daily movement. Look, diet is king, no doubt about it. But exercise, that's the queen. It's what's going to set your calorie burn on fire and really sculpt your results. And your daily workout does not need to be complicated or take hours. We're aiming for just 45 to 60 minutes. For the first 30 minutes, we're doing HIIT. That's high-intensity interval training. Think short, intense bursts of energy, like skipping or sprinting, with little rests in between. Then the last 15 minutes or so are for basic strength stuff, like squats and planks. Super simple, but super effective for keeping your muscle. And check this out. What's the payoff? A single session like this can torch anywhere from 400 to 600 calories. That is a massive chunk out of your daily goal, and it just makes everything you're doing with your diet that much more powerful. But wait, there's more. Beyond that one workout, we want to make sure you're just moving more all day. So let's set another goal: 10,000 steps a day. It's a great way to keep your metabolism humming along and burn extra calories without even thinking about it. Oh, and here's a really practical tip. You know that humid Colombo weather, right? Trying to do high-intensity sprints outside can be a lot. But don't let that be an excuse. Swimming or even cycling are amazing alternatives. They're easier on your joints and will still get that heart rate soaring. All right, so we've got our diet plan and our exercise routine. Now let's talk about the secret weapons, the supporting habits. Seriously, these are the little things that seem small, but they can either make or break your success over the next 2 weeks. This really breaks it down nicely. First up, sleep. You have to get your 8 hours. Why? It helps control cortisol, which is that pesky stress hormone that loves to store fat. Next, and this is a big one, say goodbye to alcohol and processed foods for 2 weeks. You will notice a difference in bloating almost immediately. And last but not least, use an app to track what you eat. It's not about being obsessive. It's about being honest and making sure you're hitting your goals.
Okay, so you stick to the plan for 2 whole weeks. What happens then? What can you realistically expect to see? And maybe the biggest question of all, what happens in week 3, after the big event is over?
Let's be real about the results. In that first week, you're probably going to see a pretty quick drop on the scale, maybe 1 to 2 kilos. That's mostly the water weight and glycogen coming off. Now in week 2, things might feel a bit slower, maybe half a kilo to a full kilo, but don't get discouraged. That's the good stuff. That's when you know you're likely burning actual fat.
And I gotta stress this whole plan is a short-term fix for a specific goal. It's not meant to be your lifestyle forever. So after the function, the real goal is to shift gears and ease back into a more sustainable, long-term plan. That's how you keep the results you worked for.
Okay, before we wrap this up, a few really important reminders. Please remember, this is a temporary plan. You have to listen to your body. If you feel dizzy or unwell, back off a little. And the most important thing of all, please always check with a doctor before you start any new diet or intense exercise plan, just to make sure it's safe for you.
And there you have it. You did it. You looked and felt incredible for your big event. But as we finish up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. The function is over, so what's the plan for week 3? Because honestly, turning a quick fix into a habit for long-term health, well, that's the real win. Thanks so much for joining me.